So we built a $1 billion decent business out of networking, LANs,
Yeah.
LAN solutions.
Gil Frostig, thank you so much for being on 20-Minute Leaders.
My pleasure.
So good to have you. I'm used to seeing you once a month at the J Ventures monthly meeting where you're also an LP. So now we have to do this. Now we have to do this online like this. But actually, you're more than an LP at J Ventures, right? You're actually taking a much more of a chief technology role, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty active there. I like
What
it a
does that
lot.
mean?
So
To be a sort of a chief technology officer of a fund like J Ventures, what does that even mean?
that makes me very proud, actually. Um, I really like the whole concept of J Ventures, used to be called J Angels prior to that.
Yeah.
I think it's a model of a VC second to none. There are some things here which are so unique. And we're going to do great business on one hand, but also at the same time, we're going to build a culture, okay, of a community that is going to be first of its kind. So
A capitalistic kibbutz. I've been stealing that sentence from quite a few people. Gil,
right,
we only have 19 minutes left. I'm already upset.
sure.
So much to cover. You were at Intel since graduating from the Technion, spent 30 years there, climbed the ladder of success from an entry-level chip designer to a VP, moved out onto Qualcomm, built products that emerged as #1 in the market of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. You're going to explain to me what that means. And now you're in Silicon Valley, one of the most well-respected advisors, board members, and investors. Take me back, Technion, you graduate, and you're entering Intel. What is that like, spending 30 years at a company and climbing up the ladder of success?
Well, first of all, Intel has been a fantastic company for me. It is a big company, so actually I got opportunities here and there. Okay, it was always under, for 30 years it was under the Intel umbrella, I call it, but they were very different things. So I did start as a chip design guy in Haifa, and over time I moved to the US, and I got a great opportunity to be a co-GM of a business unit there. And this really opened a lot of opportunities for me. And I was, I guess, very lucky, which is a big part of the story.
What is it like fighting for those ranks? Because, at least, young entrepreneurs like myself, all we hear about is, yeah, you could join a company like Intel, IBM, Google, etc., and then slowly climb the ladder, but that's really hard. Why don't you go do a startup, get acquired maybe, and then just join as a director? I mean, talk to me about your experience.
I don't think there's one answer which fits everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people are really born to be in startups. Okay, this is their personality. Of course, we know the percentage of successes of startups. Right. So if somebody wants to try and, generate some calculation, they may, but it doesn't mean anything.
Did you think you're going to get to where you got to at Intel?
I got opportunities which were far better than my dreams, I can tell you that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful for that. I started as a young engineer. There were very good people around me, okay? And this gave me a huge push. True teamwork, okay, which, Intel Israel was built on the shoulders of several, very good people who just created the culture. And we were helping each other, and it was, just a fantastic start for my career. And then actually people in Haifa helped me get to the opportunity I got at Intel in the US. It started in Oregon in the LAN business, okay? And I got to be a OGM there, which was phenomenal experience for me.
OGM is?
Sorry?
OGM? What is that?
co-GM.
Co-GM, okay,
In the
co-general
Intel
manager.
language, it's called the two in a box. So I was mostly the operations and the engineering person, and I had a partner who was mostly marketing and sales, and together we built the strategy and working on the budgets and the
Right.
leadership of the organization. We actually grew an organization which was about $250 million over 3 years in the late 90s to become
Wow.
a $1 billion organization.
Wow.
And so, each person can have opportunities different places, can excel at different places. I
Not
guess I
that
did
many,
some.
they say that if you want to run $1 billion business, yeah, you should go be an entrepreneur because that's really the only way. But no, you said you went the Intel route and you still got
Right.
to manage $1 billion business. Wow.
Well, one of the other fortunes was that I never worked on an x86 processor at Intel. I always worked on other businesses which were new to Intel. So we built a $1 billion decent business out of networking, LANs,
Yeah.
LAN solutions. Then our team, my partner and I, were assigned to build this new protocol nobody heard of, which was Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, people try to
back then.
people try to have wireless solutions for a long time, but this was the right timing, definitely. And we could
Gil,
come
just
up.
to give context, we are talking about the inception, the years where the internet is born. Because talking to somebody like me, I don't know what that means, but there was a period where the internet needed to be born, and I get to be speaking now to one of the pioneers who got it out to the world.
Okay, I'll buy that. So I think the internet really started to spread around in the mid 90s, and in the late 90s we were assigned to go and implement this new wireless protocol, and folks worked in Israel on chips for LANs. I said, hey, can you do the same thing just without the wire? And what do Israeli engineers say? Of course we can. So this was 98 or 99. And by 2003, we came out with a solution for Wi-Fi into the Intel platform, which was called Centrino. Again, you need to be half a dinosaur to remember that name. And it became a real success. So this was actually together, not only the engineering efforts, but also all the marketing efforts and the market creation effort. This was actually the one product and the one brand which opened up the Wi-Fi market. And later on, it was so gratifying to see people who, they just need Wi-Fi as the same as they need oxygen to some extent. Okay, it became so pervasive.
Actually, Gil, you mentioned that I was on Kilimanjaro exactly a year ago with my dad and my brother. We were up on the mountain and we didn't have Wi-Fi, but we had oxygen. And at some point I was thinking, what do I want more right now? Yeah. I didn't have my Wi-Fi for a week, and I didn't know what I valued more.
Right. So this is very rewarding, to see how successful this became. So I was just, fortunate to be part of that team, which was assigned to start it. We started something on the side, for Intel. Suddenly they decided to have it as one of the key components on the platform.
Wait, that was a side project? It started as a side project?
Yeah, it was something on the side for this LAN division. Maybe they can do something out of it. And then the CEO of Intel realized that, this could be one of the keystones here for a new type of platform for Intel, where we brand not only the processor, but we brand several elements of the platform: the processor, the networking, the chipset, the memory, things of that nature.
Right.
And with all the additional efforts on the marketing side, it became, a big hit. And this actually opened the entire Wi-Fi market out there.
What do you learn from that? So having gone through this experience, I can look at it in the textbook and say, okay, so this is one of the key innovations that really transformed people's lives. You experienced it. So what do you learn about, what can you teach me about organizations or about, innovation and entrepreneurship from this example of this Wi-Fi technology being born out of these circumstances?
Yeah, so I think there are sometimes cases where somebody high there starts something without knowing even if it's going to be something good or not. And you have to try that. We also tried DSL and it didn't go anywhere. We also tried the cable modem solution for the PC and it didn't go anywhere. But we tried Wi-Fi. We started Wi-Fi. And at some point in time, there was a key strategic decision by the CEO. So this was, in my opinion, an example where a CEO can decide on some strategy which really makes a difference. Okay. And because of that, from something on the side, we just joined the eye of the storm. Okay. And we had weekly meetings with the CEO to make sure everything is on track between
With the CEO of Intel.
Wow. Between the chipset and the processor and our solution and everything else. A new PC platform is something pretty complex, and you don't want to be the guy who's going to delay the new rollout of a new platform. But it was, and then there was also another element, not about the design, which was about enabling the market. So the marketing team came and said, we're going to build outside places, coffee shops, 400 of them that will be utilizing Wi-Fi. So the CEO looked at them and said, why 400? Why not 4,000? Okay. And this was so meaningful. And yes, they got to 4,000 and it really went terrifically from there. And other companies also grew up in that area. Some of them thank Intel till today because they became rich too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And what does that mean, building the platform that at the end gets #1 market share in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technologies?
Well, this comes to, your work as a team and as a P&L. So the trick in big companies like Intel, they put people in business units.
Right.
People have a lot of affinity to their own business unit, and they wanted to succeed in the marketplace. I'll tell here the story, actually, about our gigabit Ethernet controller, okay, LAN controller, which we built around the same time, and we competed head-to-head with Broadcom. It was huge battle, okay, and it was just about the question of who can do faster, who can develop it faster and high quality. At the end of it, I remember till today, Dell was the king of the hill in PCs at that time, and we wanted really bad to win Dell, and so did Broadcom. And the design win changed places at Dell between Intel and Broadcom 5 times. Last and 5th time was Intel. Okay, this was one of the best days of my career. Okay, especially when you take into account the guy who ran Broadcom at the time, Henry Nicholas, and his eccentric behavior. You can write about it. You can read about it in the media, in the gossip columns, wherever you want to see it. But it was a huge, huge win.
Wow, that's just incredible. And Gil, you transitioned from this then to that to Silicon Valley, helping companies, helping both early and late stage companies succeed, both at Gig Capital, where you're a strategic advisor, but also as part of J Ventures. So why is that? Because you go from these huge corporations, 30 years, VP at Intel, VP at Qualcomm, and all of a sudden you're working with startups.
Yeah, so I've been in the Valley here for 20 years. I still work here for Intel quite a bit and for Qualcomm. But since the day I got here, actually I started to get involved with startups. I still found the time to get engaged with startups. Usually they came through my personal network, friends, okay, people from Israel or something like that.
Right.
And because I missed that, I really wanted to learn more about that and help where I could. And I found some great startups and great people to work with. And over time, I also learned to trade while doing so. At some point in time, I decided, and this was about two years ago, I decided, okay, corporate America was great for me. I'm thankful. And I want to do everything around startups going forward. Okay. And I just, I left. I went to pitch events, nights between San Jose and San Francisco every day in different places just to meet more people, see more startups, see what I learn, see which one I can actually help. You know, I started to be an advisor to many of them, investor to several of them. And then I had, then I found Oded Harmony and Jay Angels, they were called at the time. And this is, a bunch of great people. Some of them are VCs in the day job. Some of them are CEOs who were successful in driving their companies to exits, corporate people. So it's a great mix. And right now I feel more comfortable investing through or with J Ventures because I think we really do a good job here on the due diligence side, as well as on the connection side. We're 160 members right now, and people are very connected, and we can not only be investing and making money out of it, but we can actually help the startups that we invest in. All the connections. We have people in the Valley, and we have people around the world as well. So this became a very, very positive experience for me. I'm most of my time is about startups. I met 2 new startups earlier, okay, and it's wonderful. You see,
I love it.
Phenomenal ideas, okay. You see great people, and you can help them.
Right.
What could be better? Tell me.
100% no, but Gil, are you still in the hardcore networking scene, or are you now branching out to other things as well?
I did branch out a lot. Networking is one field. If I can help there, it's great. But over the last 20 years, I really learned a lot of things which are relevant to many types of startups.
Right.
Could be fintech, could be biotech, medtech. Okay. Really lots of areas. Now, if I don't have anything smart to tell them, I don't tell them anything. But there's some experience which plays by now, and I can help really a lot of guys.
So give me some of those earned secrets over the years, both as corporate America, but also as a startup advisor and a strategic investor. What are some of the most important things to keep in mind, especially considering the times that we're at now? And let's say for early stage startups, what is like the common thing that you see come out both at J Ventures but in other startups that you see, that some phenomena?
Yeah, so there has to be some good differentiation. Now, differentiation could be in the technology or could be in the marketing of it or wherever. But if you don't come with something which is really new and can gain you a lot of momentum relative to competition, it's going to be very tough.
Right.
It's going to be very, very tough. People who are open to feedback, okay, sometimes they need to pivot. They come with a pivot to their startups.
Sure.
And you know what? It's a great idea. I mean, not having a pivot every 3 weeks, but you listen to the market, you listen to customers, you listen to other people. You still have, the initial strength of you and your team, but you can say, hey, you know what? It could be more applicable here. And I have also some connections, or this investor can give me more connections in that area. Okay? So if they keep flexibility, it helps a lot.
Right, and I mean, a lot of the startups that we're seeing at J Ventures, a lot of them are early stage, and you can almost assume that, and throughout the lifetime of this company, which hopefully will end its success, there's going to be quite a few pivots. So
yeah.
A big part of also the due diligence is understanding who are the founders behind this
right.
execution up to now, and are they flexible to pivot when necessary? Let's say like in times of COVID-19.
Yes, and the founders have to be very also open to learning new things, because they are first-time CEO or first-time CTO. They have to understand the script and how it evolves over time. Things like a lot of presentations. So I sit a lot with companies on their presentation for, before angels or VCs. They tend to talk a lot about the technology. They tend to give a big background of how the world is changing, what are the new trends. While these things could be known already or too deep technically, and you have to be a businessman, okay? Yeah. You have to understand that the financials that you do here, you plan here, should be very, very clear and
Right.
substantiated. Okay, and the entire story of how you raise funds and all the ins and outs that people really care when they're investors. Okay, your personal story could be nice, but don't spend time on it. Don't spend time on it.
100%.
These are business people who sit in front of you. They want to see how they're going to make 10x on your startup. Okay,
Right.
it's not cynical. It's a very good test. Okay, for you as well, and you have to understand the rules and get into this, very, very quickly. Otherwise, you're going to be in love in some of your slides, which are not that relevant. Okay, you're going to waste people's time, and then you're not going to have enough time to extend the important things. So after 2 years of J Ventures, after seeing 200 startups in the last 2 years, I actually wrote my own lists of slides and what the investor care about, and I sit with CEOs and help them understand what they need to present, how they need to present it. Don't need to rush, speaking too quickly. Okay, there's a lot to learn, and you get one shot. That's it. It has to be perfect. Sometimes people tend to wing it and think that it's okay. My invention is so smart, everybody will get it. The answer is no, they will not get it unless you really, really simplify it and explain it slowly.
I love it, Gil. I love it. But we have to finish. I can't believe it's 20 minutes already. I have the most important question for you. 3 words that you would best describe yourself as, or as anybody at J Ventures would describe Gil Frostig as.
Okay. So I would say, first of all, grateful.
Okay. Finally.
First of all, grateful.
I think I've had 100 episodes. I don't remember grateful as being a word yet.
Okay. The other one is I love people.
Okay.
And I enjoy working with them. Okay. It's just, just a dream for me. And the other thing is try to be as thorough as possible in this environment.
Definitely.
Okay?
Definitely. Gil, such a pleasure. And thank you for everything that you're teaching me at J Ventures and here. And I look forward to maintaining this relationship and learning more from you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the stage here.